What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Life with Dem. It's your boy Dion.
I'm Sierra.
And today we back with another video. Who we got today, Sierra?
Today, we got the people who scammed us.
We did, bro.
Boom, boom, boom.
That way.
Yeah. But you know, babe, before we even get into the story time, the good thing about it is, I'm glad that we have the personalities that we have, the hearts that we have, the street smarts that we have.
Yeah.
And but we'll play.
One thing I always tell wife is to not let people get underneath her skin, but I felt like this one really tried to get us, y'all.
It did.
They tried to get us. Again, we got out safely. Everything was cool and calm and collective, but let's just get straight into the story. So listen, this is what happened. So we was definitely booking our Airbnb. As you can see, things was going as smooth as it's been going. But there was something about this Airbnb that we didn't catch. The photos in this picture was very appeasing. I'm talking about, it was one of those ones you was like, yo, view. Clean, walls, nice, wraparound building. Ooh, this room is gonna be clean, y'all.
Hey.
We looking at this Airbnb and we telling each other, babe, I think we just found something that's really nice that the family gonna enjoy.
Right, cause we wanted a little break. We knew with traveling with an extended amount of time, we would need a little break.
Yeah, 100%.
So, booked it. Was like, okay, we got a good spot to lay our head. Got to that spot.
No, before we got to the spot, let me express to you all about the pictures. The pictures was definitely nice. So what happened in the picture was, it wasn't as advertised.
Photoshop
as the actual location. Only because this individual really knew how to make everything look bigger than what it was.
Very.
I'm talking about from the stove to the walls to the views to everything, right? So what happened was, let's get started with the living room part, right? So the living room was set to where it looked like it had a wraparound window that had a crazy view. It looked very, I want to say sexy. They had this place looking sexy. They had the stove top looking real good, right? I'm talking about nice expand. You got your full range seat. I'm about to go cook for the kids. You about to get some on the stove and go cut up.
Right, we knew it was a little smaller one, but we just didn't know. Keep going, baby.
Man, and listen, I'm talking about the walls. Nice.
Yeah.
Like this old sky blue brick to complement the background. Don't it sound good so far?
Yes.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get to the location. When we get to the location, I already knew when we made it to the receptionist desk, I knew not to turn back to look at Sierra.
Before then.
The gate?
The gate. The Uber driver was like, is this it?
Right.
And we like, I don't know.
Well, let me check the app one more time. Let's check the address, double check. So we had to call the number to get inside. Once the gate creaked open, we went down the hill.
That should have been flagged.
Well, we sat back in our seat while we going down the hill. We going down this little road like this. We going back and forth like a snake. And then we made it to the front of the location. And to me, it complimented a hospital. I'm not going to hold you.
Yeah. Old one.
We got all our luggage. Again, we paid for everything, so I can't turn around. I can't say, babe, let's just cancel. Let's find somewhere else to be. We pay for everything, so we want to give it a chance because we really believed in the spot.
At least let us look at it.
Once we got, they had construction going on right on the side. I'm talking about people everywhere. I'm talking about they are working hard. Noise is going crazy. We tired too, y'all.
Very.
I walk inside, right, and the gentleman already looking at the paperwork telling me that the information on that is wrong. That's another red flag on top of that. That's another red flag. So once I fill out the paperwork and I correct it, I'm scratching my name out to put my name somewhere else. Hold on, let me see. It's on 10%. I'm scratching my name out to put my name somewhere else. I finally get the paperwork in, and I know not to look back at Sierra at this point because everything about this place was just screaming red flag. Y'all.
I didn't even want to get out the Uber.
She didn't, but when I look back, she tapping her feet, she leaning on the luggage, she looking at me like, and I'm like, C, come over here if you want to ask you something. Right, so C gets to the front and she verified herself, which is crazy. Why she got verified herself, obviously you can see we all came together, all the names on the list and the number of people, the same people standing outside.
And you had the passport.
And I had the passport with her picture on it and everything, right? So I finally get everything situated. I grabbed the key with the broken car keys on it. And I'm like, red flag number 3. We finally squeezed through this little hallway.
Look, y'all.
Man,
y'all, listen. Everybody who knows me know when I'm irritated. I did not want to go in the building.
No, she didn't. It was really
I did
bad.
not want to go. That's how bad it was.
It was really
Me
bad.
and my kids and our luggage stayed outside.
She did not want to move. I had to go out there and get her and say, come on, babe. I had to hold her hand. Say, come on,
He
Steve.
literally did.
And then to go up to get to the place was a huge slope, right? No stairs, just a huge slope, and we had to drag all the luggage up there. We making our way to the elevator. It was a little small crack, like you had to really squeeze through just to kind of like get around. I'm not exaggerating this at all, y'all. We finally get all the luggage inside the elevator that did not want to close.
Wait, hold up. They say, do you want a trolley? Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, give me a trolley. Sure, we'll make it easier.
Some cart. A cart.
This cart would made everything 10 times worse. The cart made everything 10 times worse. But let's get to the room, y'all. We finally make it upstairs to our room, right? We get off the elevator, again, more tight walk paths. And we drag all the luggage there. I open the door. I get to the second door. I open the door. I swing the door open. I look back at C. Because I told C, I said, let me go inside first. I said, let me go inside first. I said, we can talk about it when I told her this downstairs. I was like, I already know how you're feeling, what you're thinking. I said, we can talk about it when we get to the room. I swing the door open, I get inside, I look back at C, I put my head back in the door, out the door, I said, come on in.
Mari walked in. Danny walked in. Sienna holding my hand, don't want to go in. Daniel said, Mommy is not happy.
Yeah.
Danny said, Mommy is not happy.
I said, yo.
I walked in there, I said, we ain't standing there.
Yo, the second we walk up in there, she said, She said, oh no. Oh no. She's looking for her phone. She said, where my phone at? I said, it's in your pocket. She tapped all over her body. She said, give me my phone. She talking to herself at this point. Give me my phone. She started going, Airbnb? Yeah, we got a problem. The whole place was not advertised like it was supposed to be advertised. You remember that wraparound window? Yeah, that was a wall. And the other side of the wall was the room.
They must have got to the door.
The angle was so perfect.
Took that picture.
Y'all remember that stove top? That was a microwave.
A portable.
It wasn't.
What you call those things? The portable. I forgot the name that you call it.
I don't know, but it was on top of the microwave. Yeah, and let me tell you, the kids' room.
What kids' room?
The kids' room was a closet.
A closet. I mean,
let me just list it. Let's just list it. The kids' rooms was a closet.
A closet.
The windows didn't have no lock on it. I'm talking about it was shingles. It opened, and if you close it, all you had to do was blow on it, and it would open. That wasn't good, knowing that there was monkeys climbing up and down. We're gonna insert pictures. No, we can't.
No, we can't.
We can't. Yes, we can. It was against the building. And then they had one peeking
okay.
They had one peeking down at us, like, you know, when you under the first bed, like on the bunk bed, you got the homie on the top of the bunk bed. He was peeking down on us.
Now we know Durban has monkeys. We were prepared for that.
We was.
Okay, we was not prepared for this place to not have a screen up so the monkeys don't get in the house.
No, they can literally push it open and go right on top of the bed where the kids were sleeping.
Y'all, we saw monkeys going in other people's apartments.
We was looking out the view and we saw the hotel across the street from us.
Oh, that was in the picture.
It was, yeah, which was also looking mad nice.
Because the view, they showed a view of the ocean and it has the buildings in the back. Maybe they photoshopped them pictures. Like,
hey, their graphic skills top 10, bro.
Top 10, baby.
I applaud you for that. But it was so bad for us because being a family of 5, that space was not as advertised as it was because we like our space. Ain't no way we want to be underneath our kids and our kids want to be underneath us 24/7.
Like this.
And plus, when it's time to sit in the room to go just lay down and chill, that little closet that they would have went in would have been hacked. I'm telling y'all, this had to have been the hospital, bro, because that looked like one of them rooms where you go from that, what them ball go up in there? Solitary confinement, man. That room was tiny.
Damari went up in that room and looked at the beds. Damari came back and he said, it's rusty and dusty.
It's rusty and dusty, yes, y'all.
Baby, we had to go.
We had to, man. We got on the line and we had to make some phone calls and and get some situation situated. And by grace, you know what I'm saying? We was out of there ASAP.
Faster than we got
possible.
Faster than we got it.
I went back, gave him the same key. He was like, that is all? So soon? It's like, we gone.
Look, I'm like, we check it out.
Yeah.
I'm pulling the luggage.
Bruh, yeah, I'm saying though, had the place been as what it was advertised, it would have been sweet, y'all.
Yeah,
it would have been really sweet, but it was just, it was cramped. The plugs didn't work for our computer. They didn't have the internal plug that we needed to get the rings in there to get our computer to charge. Because we got 3 rings, and the way their rings are set up is totally different.
Right.
So we didn't have that internal plug to
well, we have our international plug. It
didn't work.
They had like an older.
It's another plug that you can use in the middle that makes our plug connect to it, and they didn't have that plug. So I even went downstairs to go try to talk to the guys about it, and they told me to go buy it.
Right.
I'm like, listen, every Airbnb we've been to had one.
Right.
Every single one had one.
Or we could just plug it in.
Yeah. So that was a big red flag too, because if we're gonna stay here and try to enjoy ourselves in this location, we have to work.
Right.
And we was not able to work.
Right. It was just not advertised in truth. There was a lot of photoshopping going on in those photos. The reviews, I guess the people liked it, baby, but it just wasn't a good review.
It couldn't have been a family of 4.
No.
It could have been a family of 3 possibly. Because it's not big.
It couldn't be nobody with kids.
No, it wasn't big.
Yeah, it was not spacious at all. Oh, the gates to lock the door.
Oh, the gate, yeah. So in order for me to open the gate and close it, it's self-locked, first of all. But in order for me to open it, I couldn't open it from the inside because the way the lock was and the wall was set up, it was like this. Literally, it's like this. So I had to put my hand through the fence and I had to unlock it like that. And only for me to see is a lean all the way on this side. It just started twisting, you know what I'm saying? That's the way I really got out.
I've been through some things and half bougie. Okay? Even the girl from the projects, the part of me who lived in the projects wasn't staying there.
Nah.
Nope. Couldn't do it. Just wasn't a good fit for our family.
Yeah, well, but the host was.
He had attitude.
He definitely was online, on time with the comments. He was back and forth. We were trying to get everything situated, but once we looked around and we made a decision, it was like we didn't have to make a decision. We knew.
Yeah.
It was like, nah, we gonna have to do it.
Yeah, I can't do it. No, but I can say Airbnb handled the situation way better than the hotel would have.
Shout out.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
So that's that story time.
That is it, y'all. We literally got scammed. It happens. I mean, it's not something that you can avoid 100%. I feel like what you need to do is just really observe the photos vigilantly, like really look at it to the T, because when you see a wraparound scenery but only one sofa, it's like you kind of. It's like now I'm thinking about it, it's like it was so quick too, cause like oh that's golden.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it's like, hold on, where the rest of the comfort is at?
Right. That's why, just take a regular picture, okay? Don't try to color grade. Don't do none of that.
Yeah, be honest about it, 100%.
Just be very honest. The reviews didn't say much about what we experienced, so just wasn't a good fit for us, baby, and we was out of there.
Man, where the monkeys was moving, they was gonna go inside the windows.
For real.
Hands down. I know they're part of everything, but nah. But yeah.
All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.